No. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. This is a presentation that we have called Ask a Recruiter, AI or eyeballs. Who's looking at your applications when you press apply? This is being presented by Green Education US and actually done. So thanks for joining either live today or watching the replay. So I want to welcome everybody. I have some disclaimers at the bottom of the screen that you can read along with, but this is what we're going to do today. First, we're going to get everybody on the same page when it comes to vocabulary. I'm going to be using the acronyms ATS and AI a lot. So we're going to make sure that everybody understands what an applicant tracking system is and artificial intelligence, just so we're all on the same page. I'm going to be providing some statistics and what's happening in the current hiring landscape because it has changed a lot over the last 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, and even the last 6 months. What really happens after you click apply on a job board or on a company website? Who's looking at your application? Who's looking at your resume? What is the review process and how does it differ if it's a machine looking at your materials or if it's human eyeballs looking at your materials? What are the most common mistakes that people are making today, either in their resume, in their cover letters, or in the application process? How can you target your application so that you have a chance to actually talk to a human being and get to that first screener interview? And then, so this first part, I think is going to be about 30 minutes of content. This is being recorded. I'll be sending handouts afterwards so you don't have to take copious notes. And then the bulk or the second 30 minutes is going to be live questions, and we are going to have a live example of how a recruiter looks at your resume and how we determine if it's a fit for the specific job that we are evaluating you for. So these are my personal experiences as a recruiter. I recruit for small nonprofit organizations of 10 employees up to huge corporations nationwide. And I'm also a career coach. So these are some of the experiences and stories that I've heard from my clients. I'm a novice AI user. I'm learning this as I go. So please don't ask me complex advanced questions about how to use Chat GPT or the differences between this version and Copilot and Gemini, because chances are I don't know. And just to let you know that the talent acquisition recruiting strategies are changing constantly. We are learning as fast as you are. We're in training, and sometimes we're as frustrated as you are. So, with all of that as our intro, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about me. These are the top questions I get. How the heck do you pronounce your name? Maitri, like that's my tree outside. What does it mean? It means loving kindness in Sanskrit. I'm a yogi. I try to practice what I preach, but not always. People that know me know that I can be kind of blunt. I have been a global business entrepreneur for decades. I'm a digital nomad. I currently live in the Andes Mountains in a small village in the coffee region of Colombia. So I'm looking at the Andes Mountains outside my window right now. I've been a sustainability enthusiast since the early 90s. I'm a mom of two millennials. So many of you on this call are the ages of my kids. My sustainability background, I was the first employee of a national commercial solar company in Wisconsin that has installations quite large throughout the entire country now. So it was the president and I in a room, and now I don't know, 15, 20, 30 employees, plus a huge construction team. So that was fun to learn about that. And I've done presentations online and in person to over 25,000 people globally in other countries as well. But I was focusing on teaching people how to recycle right in Charlotte, North Carolina. So that is how I got connected to green education. So currently I'm a recruiter and a career coach. I have a very unique process called Career Actualization that uses the Japanese philosophy of Ikigai, and I encourage you to go to my website to learn more about that when and if you are interested. Okay, so we're all going to get on the same page on vocabulary. ATS. It stands for Applicant Tracking System. In sales, we use something called a CRM, a customer relationship management software. It's basically a database where we dump everything. We store information on people, contact information, resumes, notes. It's where we keep track of our activities, our phone calls, our texts, our emails, what we've done when, and we schedule our tasks. We need to schedule a phone screener. We need to schedule a video interview. We need to send this resume to the hiring manager so they can schedule an in-person. That's where we store everything. So it's an online database. These are the things that we use it for. I realized I just said them all. We collect and store information. Oh, it can also be used to scan and filter candidates, either manually, meaning I'm looking at the resume in the database and I'm deciding, do I reject them? Do I send them to a screener? Do I send them directly to the hiring manager? I can assign them into buckets. So that's how I scan, I filter, I organize them on what I'm going to do next. And then it tracks everything that I have done. And then it can automate things like reminders and scheduling, telling people, thank you for applying. We're currently reviewing all candidates. We're going to get back to you in about 3 weeks. So please hold tight. I can send that to every single person that's currently active for this job. Okay, most of us know what AI is. It's the typical Chat GPT, Gemini, Copilot. There's a million of them. So how do we use it? We use it to scan and rank resumes. It can only look at what is in your resume. If it's not in there, it doesn't know. And it can give us recruiters a ranking. So you're a 50% match for this specific job description. That's how well your resume matches. You're a 90%. So who are the recruiters going to focus on first? Someone who submits a resume that's a 50% match or someone who's a 90%? Many recruiters are paid on commission if they're independent contracted recruiters versus a recruiter that's internal to a company. So you're applying to Microsoft. Is this someone in their HR department? Then they're probably salary. Or are you applying to a recruiter who's recruiting for Microsoft? They might be on commission only. So they're going to focus on the people that are the highest match first. AI can also help us find people. I can put in a Chat GPT, provide the LinkedIn profiles for the top 10 people that match this job description within 30-minute commute of this zip code. And they can send me your LinkedIn profiles. Amazing. It can predict the fit and how well you might do. And again, it can automate outreach, scheduling. You're getting calls from computers asking you screener questions. Please answer those. You're getting emails from computers saying you're a 90% match for this job, but we have some clarifying questions. We'd like to schedule you for an interview with the recruiter. It also can help reduce bias because it's not a human being. It is only looking at the information that is submitted, and it's looking at it from an information filtering and scanning and processing standpoint. They don't know what you look like. They don't know what your age is. They don't have any of the biases that a human being would. Sometimes these are totally separate. So the recruiter is toggling back and forth between ChatGPT and the ATS. Some ATSs actually have it embedded in it. So you can click a button and say fit analysis or provide a summary or what are the gaps or give me 5 interview questions to ask this person about their background, skills, and experience for this job. It's making our lives a lot easier. All right, so what's happening these days? Compared to 5 years ago, nobody used AI because nobody knew what it was. Some companies had ATSs, some didn't. Now almost everybody does. Some people were doing paper where you actually print the applications and you put throw away, keep, not sure, plan B. Some people had Excel spreadsheets and they would sort and rank people. And some people were using a full database, like I said, an ATS. But now 44% of organizations are using some form of AI to help them find quality employees. So it is, and it's going up, just so you know, that number's going up. So why are companies choosing to leverage AI in the recruiting process because it costs a ton of money to try to find people. And you want to do it quickly because the best candidates are unemployed for weeks, not months or years. Or you're trying to find people that are currently employed and they're not looking for other jobs, but you want to cold call them. You want to reach out to them. That's when you get emails on let's say LinkedIn or Indeed or any of them that say, hey, I know you might not be looking, but you're a great fit for an organization and a role that I'm currently looking to fill. Are you open to talking? So it's helping us do this cheaper. Yes, you have to invest in the technology one time, but then you can use it over and over again. But the typical cost per hire is almost $5,000. So the larger companies are investing in technology to reduce that overhead and speed things up. We get better qualified candidates. We talk to clients all day long that are saying, I've been trying to recruit for this, and this is a nuclear physicist position in New Jersey, and I have Dunkin' Donuts cashiers in Illinois applying. It's taking me a lot of time to sort through these. So we want to get the best clients applying and then filter quickly who to focus on and who to talk to personally. This one is interesting, and I have heard this. It used to be the requirements were must have a PhD in nuclear physics. If you don't, boom, you're rejected. Now it is, I have the skills needed, the background skills and abilities and experience over the degrees. So they're looking for skills over degrees and certifications and credentials. Yes, those are helpful. Of course, it shows that you've taken the initiative, you've put the time in, you've learned the book learning. But a lot of times they don't have time to train people. They call it plug and play. I want someone to come in and make an immediate impact. I want to be able to hand them, here's your computer, here's the files, here's a pad of paper, go. It's just the situation today. Okay, I want to get everybody involved real quick. What do you think? What percentage of resumes are screened out by a machine and a recruiter like me never sees it with my eyeballs? So I don't think I can see the chat. So I am going to rely on, oh wait, can I see the chat? Oh, I can see the chat.
I can read it out also.
Yep. Jill thinks 95%. Anybody else? What percentage do you think are filtered out by AI so that a human being never sees it?
87% from Haneen.
80. Any other guesses?
75% says Jonah.
Yes. Any others? Come on, I want to see one or two more numbers. Okay, we got an 87. Okay, what's interesting is we have one person that hit it right on the dot, and the rest of you are even more pessimistic than reality. Let me see if I could pull this up. It's actually 70 to 75%. So that is interesting. Many people are thinking that it's actually worse than it is. I will sometimes look at a resume that says that it's a 65% match because they are right down the road. They're available immediately and they're within budget and they only have a 60% match over someone who's 99% quality, but it involves a relo and their salary request is 30,000 more than the budget of this client. So that was a fun little exercise. All right. What happens when you click apply? Here's the answer. It depends. It varies greatly. It depends. Are you applying on LinkedIn? Are you applying on Indeed? Are you applying on Monster? Because every one of those have different processes on what they send to the recruiter, how they send it to the recruiter, when they send it to recruiter. Are you applying directly to the company? So it's in their ATS. It's going straight into their database. And most HR people are going to look at their own internal stuff first because they may have 400 applicants in Indeed, 200 applicants in LinkedIn, and they got 20 applicants in their own internal database where they don't have to connect anything. They don't have to upload anything. They're going to look at those 20 first. So, and it depends if AI is used or not. So how do you know if eyeballs are looking at your resume or is the first thing looking at your application. Anybody want to put anything in the chat? I'm curious what your guesses are. Are there any telltale signs where you're like, oh, that was a machine looked at my stuff? Oh, I think a real person actually looked at my stuff. How do you know? Or how do you know when you're looking at a job description in advance? Should I optimize my resume to be more AI focused for a machine to read, or should I make it all pretty for a human to see? How do you know in advance? So, Jill, read out your answer.
I was saying maybe if you get an instant notification of receipt of your application.
So that tells me if there is some type of ATS or alerts or notification automatic processes, but that may not tell you who's actually looking at your application. So some people may have an automatic email reply that says, received your application, we'll be looking at it. And it could go straight to a human eyeball. Or it could be a computer that says, thank you for sending your application. It'll be reviewed and it'll go to a machine. So actually that's not. So here's the answer. You don't. You have absolutely no idea. And there's no way for you to tell from the job description. You have no idea how it's being received and how it's being processed. The only thing you can guess is that larger companies usually invest in more technology, like AI and a more advanced ATS, whereas smaller companies might still be relying on eyeballs. But even that, I've worked with some companies of only 20 employees, and they use AI because they have one director of HR who's doing payroll, benefits, hiring, performance evaluation, strategic planning with the leadership team. And that one HR person can't do everything. So they leverage AI to make his or her job easier. So let's get back here. Let's see what was next. All right. So what is being reviewed when you click apply? Again, it varies greatly. AI reads everything. You submit 100 pages, AI, please don't submit 100 pages, but AI would actually read it all and compare it against the position requirements or the job description. And then it saves info into that database, into fields. So it'll put where you're located, your phone number, your email. It might get your degree in there. It might get all of that information gets plugged into a database in ways that recruiters can sort and screen and quick peek at. And sometimes it'll send alerts to the actual human, like the recruiter, to review. So I'll get an email. Sometimes that email will have name, location, current title, and current company. That's it. Sometimes it'll say the first 3 lines of the 3 most recent positions. Sometimes it'll give me a matching score and a 2-sentence summary of what matches. But every client that I work for has different ATSs, and some use AI and some don't. And I get different information. So from this quick email that I get, I have to decide, do I want to actually open? And then a lot of times the resume is attached or the cover letter is attached. Do I actually want to click open or not? So I'm making my decision on one of these things. Very small bits of information. So humans only see what they're shown by AI, which I put above, or if I click open, if a lot of times I don't even click open, and I'm going to share with you what and how I do that later. It's whatever catches my eye in about 3 to 7 seconds. That's it. I'm looking for 3 or 4 things. I'm going to tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for your location, unless it's a remote role. And if it's a remote role, I have over 400 applicants within 2 hours and I have to close the position because I can't deal with more than 400. That's where my head pops off. So it'll show your location. So I'll figure out if you can drive there. Or if it's a reload, if you're within the reload distance, someone may not reload someone from Europe, but they might reload someone from the US. Or if it's in Chicago, they might reload someone from the Midwest, but not the East Coast or the West Coast or far down south. They may say regional. What have your past titles been? How closely aligned are they? And what we're looking for? What industries have you worked in? Meaning, do you know the terminology, vocabulary in my industry? So I don't have to teach you everything. And we're looking at tenures. So if you have any jobs in the last 5 years that are less than 2 years, and if you have two or three of those, if you have two or three jobs in the last 5 years, I'm going to be looking for reasons. So if you have a job that's less than 2 years, I tell people in 2 to 3 words, put why. COVID layoff, spousal relocation, promoted, recruited to another role. It's very important to have the tenure reason in there because some tenures are really good reasons. Some short tenures are good reasons, some are not. All right, here we go. We're going to brainstorm in the chat. What do you think are the most common mistakes that causes an application to be rejected? And this is both by human eyeballs or by AI. So if people can take a few minutes, I'm going to let you guys brainstorm and then I'm going to share with you what I found are the top mistakes. Spelling mistakes, good one. Wordy resume without numbers. Yes. Tell me what you've done by providing an example with metrics. So over 4 years, increase this by this amount. Kimberly got the number one. No email on your resume, no phone number on your resume, no location on your resume. I can't contact you even if you're the perfect person. I have no way, unless I'm going into the internet and paying to like search to find somebody and digging. I'm not going to dig for you. If you don't have an email or a phone number or a location for me to know if you're within commuting distance, I ain't going to do the work. All right. Anyone else have any others? Otherwise, I'm going to go into what I prepared. Let me close that. Get back. Okay. Eyeballs. This is before AI. This is the old fashioned paper. No contact info, wrong contact info. You can't follow instructions. I very specifically asked you to provide this, this, and this. I asked you these pre-screener questions. I have a process. I'm going through 100 resumes. Please make it easy for me. I have to have a process. Otherwise, I will be completely overwhelmed. So if you don't give me what I need, I'm moving on. Titles. It's a Dunkin' Donuts cashier for a nuclear physicist role. Bam, out. Tenure less than 2 years. Location not within commuting or reload distance. Spelling mistakes. It shows you're not professional. A lack of attention to detail. You can't even run it through a spell check these days. Okay, so those are the old fashioned reasons. What are the new reasons? Your resume is not machine readable. It's an image. Please don't send a JPEG. It's got all these columns. It's got text boxes. It has scripty fonts. The layout isn't traditional, and the computer can't find your name, your phone number, your email, and your zip code. I've had people have it buried in a left-hand column in a gorgeous image in navy blue with white font. Computer can't see it. It says no email, no phone number, no zip, can't upload this. Error. Location, not enough years of experience. So if someone says we need 10 years of experience and a degree in nuclear physicist and you don't have it, there's not much we can do about that. Keywords don't match the job requirements. We're going to talk about this a little bit more. It's very important to frame your background, skills, and experience in a way that matches the terminology used in the job description. You're not copying and pasting the job description, but you're using their same words when possible. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, actually, now we're going to show you that. Application strategies. Recruiters are using AI to determine if you're a match. Please use AI to create a custom application for every role that you care about that you actually want. So I tell my career coaching clients, okay, every week I want you to find 2 jobs that are a 9 or a 10 in your rank and your interest level. I would love to have these jobs and pick 2 of them and create the best custom applications you can. If there's any 7s and 8s, yeah, that would be a really good job, but it's not like my dream job. And have AI put a custom application for you. Send about 5 of those a week. And then any others that you're like, yeah, I'm kind of qualified. If you want to do the generic, I call it video button mashing and just click apply, apply, apply on LinkedIn and on Indeed on your phone while you're waiting at a bus stop, fine, do that. I mean, you might get 1 in 100 responses, but chances are you're not. But those 5 to 7 that you're actually really working for, those are the ones that you want to be getting the interviews for. Okay. Those 7, 8, 9, 10s, make sure you're a 70% match on keywords and skills. You can use ChatGPT, you can use jobscan.co. I think you get like 5 freebies, and then after that you have to pay. But there's a 3-month trial with a great deal. And I tell all of my clients for $35, you're going to use this like crazy for 3 months. You're going to get a job, and $35 investment to get a job is worth it. Make sure your text is in a standard format, doc or PDF only. Follow the instructions. Reply to the computer. If you get a text from a machine, reply. If you get an email from a machine, if you get a phone call from a machine or a human, please reply. Most recruiters will only leave 1 or 2, either a text, an email, or a voicemail, 2 contacts, and they give up. I do at least 3, a phone call, a text, an email, and then sometimes I do another 3 if they're a good fit, another phone call, text, and email. So I'll do up to 6. I'm rare. Most people won't do that. Include everything that is relevant to the role. If I had a nickel for every job applicant that said, why didn't I get the screener interview? I have that. And I say, it wasn't on your resume. And when I interviewed you via Zoom, you never mentioned that. Well, it was earlier in my career. How would I have known that? Or I can do this job. And unfortunately, I know you can do this job, but a lot of roles require that you have done it in the past because they're not willing, able, or have the investment in time or money to be training you to do something, even if you have the capacity to do it. And that is hard for people these days. All right. I also tell people leverage your networking and referrals and go in multiple directions. As recruiters, contract recruiters on commission, we hate it when people do this, but if you're looking to get a job, do it anyway. You're going to apply officially, and then you're going to find out who do you know that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody at that company that can call the recruiter or the HR director and say, hey, my friend Sally Smith applied for this role, but she didn't hear back. Can you go into the system and find out if she was rejected, if she's in process, if she's going to get an interview? You'll be shocked how many times you can get yourself pulled out of the rejection pile and have someone look at it. Because you may have been rejected on one of those teeny tiny little alerts. Somebody may have never opened your resume. That will usually trigger me if somebody does that or even reaches out to me on LinkedIn, says, hey, I applied. I just want to make sure you got this. I might go back in and say, oh, I rejected them because of this. Hang on, let me open it. Wow, they actually might be a fit. I'm going to give them a call. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and do a full interview. All right. Number 1 tip. I tell all of my career coaching clients to create what I call a resume fodder document. This is where you dump everything from babysitting, grass cutting, head of the cheerleading team, chess champion in college, whatever it is, all of your background skills and abilities, any soft skills into one Word doc. I don't care how ugly it is. I don't care if it's 100 pages long, and you call it Maitri resume fodder. For every single job that you apply for, you go into AI like ChatGPT and you say, please review my resume fodder document. Please review this job description and create a custom resume. Or please review these and let me know how strong of a match I am. Is this a job worth applying for? That's how you take 100 pages and you turn it into something that's highly relevant, easy to read, and directly customizable for this specific job. Okay. Click. I don't know why I went backwards. Okay. In conclusion, and then I'm going to take a quick sip and take a breath and see how many questions we have. Recruiters are using AI to screen candidates. Please use AI to customize your applications because it actually makes it easier for us. because we have less to look at and it's more directly applicable. Almost all companies have an ATS database, and some of them have ATS or have AI built into them. Some of them don't. Bigger the company, higher chance they're using technology. Technology tools are on the rise. Recruiters are struggling. We are in training every single week. Sometimes these tools work great. Sometimes they don't. We're just as frustrated as you are. Please don't yell at us if something didn't go well and you were rejected by a machine. Instead, give us a call and say, I wanted to make sure that you saw I have this, and this directly applicable. Can you take a quick peek at my resume again? I would be much more likely to pick up the phone and call that person back and actually look at their resume than someone says, why did you reject me? And gets very angry with me. All right. I am going to tell you real quick about the participant freebies. So we're going to have this recording. We're going to have a PDF. I created an AI job search recruiting FAQs and answers of the 25 most frequently asked questions, some of which you guys might be asking in a moment. And I have the answers in there too. I'll give you a sample of a position description and an AI matched resume that was custom tailored for that role so that you can see what it looks like. I have something called a Career Actualization Needs Assessment that I can share with you. I have an Ikigai worksheet with a YouTube video that explains how to do the exercise. And if you do all of these things and say, hey, Maitri, I want to chat with you. Can you review my resume? Can you go over some of these things that I did? I'll give you a 30-minute free chat with me. So here's my email. You can request that. And I'm going to take a break. Is there any quick Q&A before I go into my real life example?
I don't see anything in the chat. Feel free to unmute if anyone has any questions. And while we're waiting for that, can you talk a little bit about the role that cover letters play or don't play in this ATS AI automated process?
Yeah, let me stop sharing so I can go back. Okay, so a cover letter is read just like a resume. It is helpful if you don't do a custom resume to pull out and highlight your key, what we call matching criteria, the background and skills and experience that you have that are a direct match. And AI can create that cover letter for you. It can create a matching criteria for you because as recruiters, we're looking at what the hiring manager gave us, and they said, we want this, this, and this. And we're digging through your resume trying to find those three things. And if it's your general resume, it might be in there, but it could be buried. Pull those top three things out. When it says qualifications or requirements or preferred, pull those out into a cover letter. Some recruiters don't look at cover letters. I do. I upload them both into the AI to do a quick analysis for me. Yeah. So if they say provide a cover letter, definitely do. If they say not needed, you don't have to. So we got a question that is super interesting that I have never, ever, ever seen before. There are jobs that explicitly say do not submit an AI generated resume. So they're using, so they're not, so ATS is just a database. So they're not using ATS instead, but that is fascinating. I would use AI to say, please pull out my key matching background and any gaps. And then you could hand customize your resume or your cover letter to highlight your key matches and your key gaps. So then it's not officially an AI generated custom resume for that role. However, you're still using AI to make it easy for the recruiter. If you want to come off mute and add more clarifying or ask more questions, please do.
I'm curious because I have heard that because like ChatGPT like makes everything look the same, right? Because it's like a language patterning that when a real person is looking at resumes, it can make you like indistinguishable from any other person with a similar background. So I'm curious if what they really mean is like you could use AI to format and to, like you said, get the keywords out, but then definitely go through and make sure that you stand out as an individual that has taken the time to really look at what this job is or this company is so that they know right from the recruiter, the HR department side, they know that you're applying for the job because there's software that you can just
I
automatically go ahead, honey. Yeah.
Yeah, so I most of the jobs that I've been seeing and applying for, so I'm very environmental like specific with myself, they have explicitly say we do not want or we will not review. It's an automatic rejection if it's an AI resume, an AI cover letter, any of that. There's a few jobs that actually forego a cover letter and they're like, here are three questions that I want you to submit in addition to your application. And so like I think what you're saying about the formatting is like taking into consideration, but I don't know how they're going about like saying if we detect AI in any shape, way, or form in your resume, you're automatically disqualified. So that's how been most of these jobs. Like I'm the millennial, I was taught to write the resume from scratch. So I just write them and redo them for every job. But I was just curious about that because you're like Maitri saying, "Oh no, go ahead, use your AI stuff," and but I'm like, I've seen explicit "do not use," and so I'm like, okay, well, I'm not using that.
Wow. So what I would do is I would upload my resume and say, please use the format and words of my current resume, but highlight or customize it for this specific job description. So it's not changing the colors, the fonts, the layout, the ordering, but it might reorder some bullet points. It might rewrite a couple bullet points stronger. And then, I mean, you're always reviewing everything to make sure that it's accurate and it doesn't look like a computer and it's in your tone so that it doesn't look like one bullet point looks like it was written by AI and the next three look like they're written by me. So I'm going to ask Kimberly, have you ever had a client or have you ever seen a company in anything that you've applied for your husband that specifically said, do not submit an AI generated resume? So I'm wondering if those are entry level jobs for the millennials, not the 200,000 plus.
Yeah, no, I have never seen that before. Not at all. And I wonder if they're specific to a certain industry. Um, I'm wondering
I
if they're
think
specific to, the sort of a tech sort of type industry, as well.
good comment.
Yeah,
I'd
but
love to
no,
see one of those.
I haven't seen that at all. And how is it that they know that it is AI, that it's an AI generated resume?
It's
Um,
it's pretty, I would assume that it's just like with college papers, you can just, I mean, you can even ask ChatGPT, did AI contribute to this? And because it's a language pattern recognizer, so it
oh
probably
yeah,
knows, right? Because any ChatGPT generated resume is going to follow certain patterns, and so it can reverse engineer to see if those patterns have been applied.
yeah,
That makes
yeah.
sense. Fascinating. I learned something new. All right, so we have 12 minutes left. Should I do a quick example? All right, let me go back, share screen, oops, I made the wrong thing small. Go back. Okay. So can you guys see my chat GPT? I have a chat opening called Job Description Review. Okay, someone
Yes.
give me a thumb. Well, I'm going to see. Okay, someone said yes. So I wrote, I'm evaluating resumes for this position description. I'll upload a couple resumes and would like you to tell me if these candidates are a match, what matches, and what are the gaps. Can you read this job description? I put in a link. I was able to find it. Here it is. This is the job summary, the key requirements, primary responsibilities. Maybe I haven't even looked at the full job description. This is super helpful. I'm going to review this real quick. And then look at this. It gave me an evaluation framework, what a match looks like, what gaps. I probably wouldn't even look at that. And then they're ChatGPT will assess, yes, the overall fit is yes, a fit, a partial fit, a low fit. What are the key strengths, critical gaps, and recommendations or coaching points? I might actually change this and say, write 3 to 5 interview questions to address any gaps. So then I upload a resume. So I uploaded a resume for Skylar Lee against a senior manager of sustainability. And I got a strong match. This is what matched. These are the gaps, the location, and this is a summary. And then I actually got a little summary narrative that I could submit to my client or to the hiring manager. And then it even says, do you want this to be submitted into a submission paragraph for your client or the hiring manager with bullet points? And I said, hold off for now. Now let's see here. I can't get to the bottom because now I'm going to put in someone for another one. So now I have another resume for this position for Jordan Martinez, and I'm uploading it. So this is a second person because I want to watch. Okay. Is Jordan a fit for this role? Please provide 3 to 5 first video screener interview questions to address gaps. Have you noticed that I have not opened anybody's resume yet? I just plain upload them. So here is a fit evaluation for Jordan for the Senior Manager of Sustainability in Los Angeles. 7.5, strong emerging professionals. So this is where the strong match is. So these are things you could do for yourself. And these are the types of things that you want to put in your cover letter, or these are the things that you want to make sure are very clear in your resume. So you could even copy and paste these, upload your resume again, and say, please update this general resume for Jordan to focus on these 4 matches and see how it changes. And then it's, oh, here are some first video screener questions. So again, as the applicant, you're going to do exactly what the recruiter is going to do. If you get a call that you have a first interview, you're going to do this. And you're going to have your interview questions already answered in advance. So you know exactly what they're going to ask. So it says, in what areas are you a 5-star match, a 4, a 2? So there you go. And then would you like me to compare Skylar and Jordan for this same role to see who might be a better fit? Yes. So have you noticed, I haven't even opened the actual resume yet. This person has 15 years. This person might have different amount of years. This one is in Wisconsin. This person's in LA. This one has these certifications. This one has these. This one has this bachelor's. Here's the summary. Skylar has these and looks like a better fit. Jordan has these. Oh, these are the types of positions that Jordan would be a fit for. And these are the types of positions that Skylar would be a fit for. So what's our time check? We have a few minutes left, and I really want to leave time for people to ask specific questions about your specific situations. Otherwise, I'm going to ask the key question and we'll close this out. Was this helpful? Did you learn at least one thing that you didn't know 1 hour ago that you might be able to implement and leverage as you move forward in your job search process? I know I learned one thing. All right, I'm thinking people might be shy. So Jill, let's stop. Okay. One person said, I had no idea I could use AI to customize a resume. Yep, you can. And they will give you a downloadable Word document or a PDF. You can say, please provide a downloadable Word document that I can edit, tailoring my general resume for this specific role. And then you go in and you edit it to make sure that it doesn't look like it's not your voice.
So I have a quick question. Well, maybe it's not quick, but I know like one of your tips is to be consistent between your cover letter, your resume, your LinkedIn profile. But there may be times that you're pursuing multiple different routes. So the cover letter and resume can be customized, but how would you handle that for LinkedIn?
That's super hard. For example, I might be applying for career coaching roles and recruiting roles. I might even be applying for a project manager role for a government organization that wants an outreach expert to be giving presentations in their community. If it's one of your 9 or 10 dream jobs that are absolutely at the top of your list, I have told people to customize your LinkedIn profile, save what you've had before so you can revert it back and rearrange things. Maybe not delete things, but in your about, the first 3 lines might be more specific to your background, skills, and experience when it comes to community outreach. Your background, skills, and ability may be more tailored towards recruiting. And
So
then
you
put it
wouldn't
back.
set up duplicate LinkedIn profiles.
No, that's a nightmare. You never want to do that. It sets up red flags. It's a disaster. And then trying to merge them later is horrible. Yep. So someone in the chat, that was actually going to be one of my polling questions at the beginning. How comfortable are you with AI, familiar in using Chat GPT? And when was the last time you've applied for a job? Anybody that has applied for a job more than 6 months ago is in for an awakening, because in the last 6 months, it's changed like crazy. Us recruiters were like, but I didn't use Chat GPT until 3 months ago, and now I'm using it all day long. I didn't know what it was either. And I said, no, I'm old school. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look at the actual resumes. But darn, does it save me time. It literally gives me the strengths, the gaps, and the interview questions. And then I can peek at the resume and decide if I'm going to call them or not. I can't do that. And then I have bias. Somebody has a last name or a gender, or I look at their bachelor's degree was in 1975, and suddenly I have, and I'm over 50. Suddenly I have age discrimination because it's an unconscious bias. Whereas a computer doesn't do that. Doesn't tell me they graduated from college in 1975. It just says they have a degree in nuclear physics. That's it. All right. Thank you so much for joining everyone live and on the recording. We're going to stop the recording now, but you should have my contact information if you have any follow-up questions.